Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. So finally we have our hands on to CMF Phone 1 and it's a retail unit guys, which we purchased from the first offline sale held in Bangalore yesterday. I was about to post a video yesterday itself, but there was an update on this device which did improve camera a lot. And today after this video, you guys will be able to decide whether to purchase this device or not. And let me clear one thing guys, with the first sale which held in Bangalore yesterday, they did not provide Watch Pro 2 or Watch 2 Pro and none of the accessories were available. They only had the device. Right now in India, we'll only get two variants. One is 6 128GB and the second one is 8 128GB. The device which we have here is 8 128GB. At least they should have given the 256GB variant in the first sale. Though we have 4 color options and you can take a look at the pricing on the screen. Now quickly let's take a look at the box content. So one thing which I would like to appreciate, and that's the packaging stuff this time. Previously, if you guys remember, with Nothing phones, we had that weird packaging and it was very hard to use the package once you have unboxed it. But now we have similar packaging what we see from other brands. So talking about the box content, remember one thing, you won't get the charger inside the box. You have a Type-C to Type-C cable along with some paperwork and a SIM rejector tool. And remember one thing guys, the SIM rejector which comes inside the box of CMF Phone 1, you won't get that screwdriver behind. That will only come if you purchase the back cases along with those different color screws. So design is actually eye-catchy with these physical screws which can be seen at the back side along with a dial type screw. And you all know you can change the back cases. They do provide official cases with different color options. And the costing of back cases is around 1500 per case. You can easily unscrew and place a different case. Another good thing is, depending on the phone case, you also get an SIM tray with that similar color of that case to match the overall look. Also the case is plastic one, and I think camera module and buttons are metallic. With no doubt, design wise, it's a very bold move and it's attractive too. Build quality should not be a major concern other than the screen damage. Because if the device gets any scratches, you can easily replace the back panel, and hoping to see some good quality and unique cases from third-party manufacturers. I'll use this device as my primary phone with the same case and will keep you guys posted about the build quality. In hand feel, I would say it's a bit uncomfortable due to the sharp corners which are present towards the back side. And the device is also slightly on the heavier side. The weight of the device is somewhere around 200 grams. With no doubt, the phone is also bulky, and trust me, you'll feel that once you have the device in your hand. Talking about the buttons and ports, so towards the left hand side you have volume rockers, and guys, due to the minimal gap between both the volume up and bottom button, it's very hard to find out which button you are pressing. So this thing would have been great if they would have added a proper separation between volume down and up button. Towards the top side we have a secondary noise cancellation mic. This device doesn't come with stereo speakers, remember that. Right hand side we have the power button, bottom side we have SIM rejector tool, primary mic, a Type-C charging port and a speaker grill. Okay, talking about the display, the first thing which grabbed my attention, and that's the bottom chin. I know people have been saying it doesn't matter, but it do matters if you see it for the first time. But that's okay. Device has 6.7-inch AMOLED display, supporting 120Hz of refresh rate with the peak brightness of 2000 nits and the high brightness mode of 700 nits. And I did test out the device outdoor thinking that 700 nits is not enough, but trust me, it's bright enough even under the direct sunlight. Display also has the HDR support, but sadly no HDR support in apps like Netflix, similar to what we get to see on Nothing phones. Due to 120Hz, the phone feels smooth while scrolling around. On the display, you'll get to see protection of Dragon Trail Pro. We also get the support of in-display fingerprint scanner, which is quite fast, no problems at all. In terms of content watching, the colors output is quite good and looks promising. And if you see, the darker areas are also quite well visible. But one thing which I feel they should have given, and that's the support of stereo speakers. Nowadays, if you have used any device with stereo speakers and later on you switch to CMF Phone 1, you'll obviously feel that the device is outdated in terms of sound output. Overall sound output is quite loud with mono speaker, and it's not like that it lacks bass. Everything is well balanced, but yes, stereo speakers would have been a great thing. Now talking about haptics, so haptics are actually good on this device. They are crisp and even strong. By default, the intensity is set to minimal, but you can increase it to high. One thing which I notice here, the haptic feedback support is not being added in the keyboard. I did not even find the settings, but we do have an option under vibration which says touch feedback, and description says haptic feedback for tap, keyboard and more. But the haptic feedback doesn't work with keyboard. So here I'm not sure whether it's a bug. Overall, haptic feedback is solid and you won't miss out on any of the notifications. Now, one of the best part of this CMF Phone 1 is this software. So this device comes with Nothing OS, which is one of the best software right now in the market. and very close to stock. Out of the box, device came with Nothing OS 2.6, and later on we had a OTA update which included a lot of camera improvements, but version did not got changed. It's the same 2.6 version itself. You won't get to see any kind of bloatware inside this device. The device will get 2 years of major OS upgrade and 3 years of security patch. So what I'm expecting is Android 16 will be the last for CMF Phone 1. You won't miss out on any of the feature what you get to see on Nothing phones. Other than that, glyph interface, you have the support of lock screen widgets, which lets you control important settings directly from the lock screen itself. You can set your home screen how you like with different widgets. Nothing have their own widgets and they are very unique. We have the support of large icon, custom icon packs, support of monochrome icons for less distraction. Another good thing about Nothing OS that it lets you record call without even changing the stock dialer, which is Google Dialer pre-installed. They do have their own recorder application, and with a single tap you can record the call, and that too without announcement. You also get to see other features like AI wallpaper generator, app locker, cloned application. And for the features, a dedicated video will be coming very soon in which I'll explain each and every feature of CMF Phone 1. Overall UI experience is good, and I would say 2.6 is a very good upgrade. I did not see any kind of lags while using this device. Also, the background management is really good. In my initial usage, I did notice a lot of applications still remain running in the background after a few hours. So if you want a clean software experience at this budget, then this is the perfect device which you can buy. See, in terms of battery segment, I would say they would have given slightly more faster charging speed. This device has only 33 watt of fast charging and it comes with 5000 mAh of battery. And due to 33 watt charging speed, the charging speed is slightly on the lower side. But let me show you the screen on time till now what I've got on this device. I've been using this device as my primary phone since yesterday, and you can see after taking multiple photos and performing benchmark testing, the screen on time is 3 hours and 15 minutes and I still have 49% of battery. So with heavy tasking, I am expecting around 6 hours of SOT. With normal usage, it would go for sure above 8 hours. And once the battery is below 20%, I'll pin the screen on time in the comment section. And now let's talk about the performance part. So this phone comes with MediaTek Dimensity 7300 processor supporting 6 and 8GB LPDDR4X RAM and UFS 2.2. Talking about benchmark results, so I do have the screenshots of benchmark testing. Here you can see the Geekbenchmark scores which are decent enough. AnTuTu benchmark, so device scores 6,40,513, and we also performed CPU throttling test in which we used the settings of 100 thread up to 30 minutes, and in this we did not see any kind of throttling issues. Maximum CPU throttled up to 89% and average GIPs were also above 3,50,000. And one more thing which I noticed on this device, this doesn't heat up much. While performing these benchmark testing, this device did not heat up at all. So that's a great thing. And in terms of wildlife extreme stress test, the stability scores are 99%. If you talk about the frame rate, which was between 3 FPS to 6 FPS, maximum temperature what we noticed during this test was 31 degrees Celsius, and total battery drain by performing this test was only 4%. And later on we played BGMI, and this device also supports 60 FPS in BGMI. One thing which I did not like, and that's the gyroscope performance. So if you are the one who does gaming with gyroscope turned on, I will slightly hesitate to recommend this device because I did notice gyroscope was not performing that good what we have seen on other devices like Nord CE4, Phone 2a and more. Overall, you won't see much of frame drops. Device did maintain FPS between 50 to 60 in the entire gaming session, whatever we played, and there were no lags at all. But for me, the only concern is gyroscope. I know these things can be slightly optimized with software update, but right now, seeing the current situation of gyroscope performance, I would hesitate to recommend. But if you are a non-gyroscope player, you can anytime purchase this device for casual gaming. And let me also show you the average FPS what this device delivered when we were gaming. The average FPS device delivered was around 56 frames per second, which is quite good. And as I said initially, the device doesn't even heat up much. The maximum temperature what we noticed was around 37 degrees Celsius. I mean the device skin temperature. Now moving on to the camera segment. So basically camera configuration is not something which I like. The primary lens is 50 megapixel Sony IMX882. Second one is 2 megapixel depth sensor which helps you take good portrait photos. Along with that we also have a 16 megapixel front shooter. But one weird thing which I noticed here on this device, like when I took this device outside, I'm not sure if you guys are able to see, there's a steel frame type thing around the front camera, and that looks quite weird if you see it properly. Indoors you won't be able to make out the difference, but soon you take a device outside, you can easily see that circular ring around the camera. And two things what you guys need to remember, the device doesn't have the support of OIS, but they have optimized EIS in a very good way. I'll show you the video sample after this, and this device doesn't even have the support of ultra wide lens. Rear camera is capable of recording 4K at 30 FPS and the results are good. As said, it doesn't come with OIS support, but EIS have been optimized pretty well, so the video looks quite stable. Dynamic range is controlled very well even if I point out directly towards the sun. Along with that, zoom transition is also smooth. By the way, we have a single tap option to zoom up to 2x. So for me, the video quality with the rear camera is good enough. Front camera is capable of recording 1080p at 60 FPS and videos are decent. They are not the best, but it does the job. With the front camera, I noticed slight warm tone along with skin smoothing. Stability wise also, front camera does a decent job. As we saw in front camera video recording, slight warm tone, and that can also be seen in the selfies. The same skin smoothing, but the camera balances the exposure pretty well, preventing overexposure in the bright areas and underexposure in the shadowed part. The colors appears vibrant and true to life with blue skies and green foliage looking natural. Surprisingly, edge detection is quite good with perfect background blur, which makes the subject stand out. In some complicated scenarios which you can see in these photos, there are slight issues with the edge detection, which is being messed up sometimes. And it's the same story what we have seen on Nothing Phone 2A. Main camera of CMF Phone 1 performs really good with primary lens, delivering vibrant and true to life colors with excellent color consistency. It handles lighting and exposure effectively, balancing both bright and shadowed areas to prevent overexposure or underexposure. The images display sharp details and clarity, capturing texture and fine details with precision. Skin tones are rendered naturally and accurately, maintaining a realistic appearance without excessive smoothing. Though there is slight smoothing with front and rear camera. Also, there is no much of color shifting between 1x and 2x. Outcome with 2x also looks good without much detail loss. And these low light photos we clicked before the update arrived, which included the camera improvements. Still, you can see in low light the camera manages to capture good details and clarity even in dim conditions with minimal noise. The color remains vibrant and natural without significant color shift or loss of saturation. Lighting and exposure are handled well, maintaining a balance between bright and darker areas, preventing overexposure of light sources. So in this price segment, I would say the camera is not on the greater side, but it's not even bad. It's actually a balanced camera which you expect in this price segment. It do have the ability to click some good pictures. Connectivity wise, we have all the sensors, Bluetooth 5.3 support, Wi-Fi 6, dual 4G VoLTE and more. Now coming on to the conclusion. See, I don't find any major reason not to buy this phone at this price segment because the audience of this price segment wants a stable phone with a clean software experience, decent camera plus good battery backup. And this device fulfills all these things. I know things like 33-watt charging speed and mono speaker do make sense. If these two things would have been done, it would have been the best phone. For me, it's a great phone under 16K, but what you guys have to say about this phone after watching a video, let us know in the comment section below. This is your friend Ashok signing out. See you guys in the next video.